Hey guys, okay, since I'm super lazy and I don't like to type, I'm just going to tell you my story from work, numero tres. Okay, so before work, I went to use the potty at the mall, right? And so to get to the restrooms, there's like this hallway, and the bathrooms are all the way at the end of the hallway. So I'm walking down the hallway, and this guy like comes out of the restroom, and he's like walking towards me, and I'm walking towards the end, and he's like, "Oh, well, don't you look pretty today?" And I was just like, "Oh, thank you." And it just made me feel real good about myself. And I was like, "Hell yes, I look good." And like, so I go to the bathroom, and like afterwards, like I'm washing my hands and I'm checking myself out, and I'm like, "Damn, I do look good." So like, I'm skipping, I'm skipping to work at this point because I'm so happy, and so I'm at the greet, which is like at the front where I have to fold shirts and say hello to everybody. And so I'm standing there, and fucking the nice guy, comes out of nowhere, and he's like, "Oh, well, look who it is. Hello, pretty lady." I was like, "Hello, nice guy." And I was like, "Thank you so much for the compliment. You really made my night." He's like, "Well, you know, pretty girls should be told that they're pretty all the time." And I was like, "Oh, well, thank you so much." And I'm like completely gushing and like blushing up a storm. And he's like, "Hi, my name's Michael." And I'm like, "Oh, I'm Melissa." And I mean, we like shook hands and shit. And I thought he was just going to leave, and it looked like he was, like, sort of hesitant, you know? And then he's like, "Well, hey, I'm an entertainer, and I have a show tomorrow. Do you think you can make it?" And I was like, "Oh, well, where's your show at?" And he's like, "Oh, it's at this club, Fusion." I was like, "Oh, yeah, I know where that is." He's like, "Yeah, do you think, you know?" I was like, "Oh, well, what time?" And I'm just like totally like just asking him like, "Oh yeah, oh okay." And it's not that like he was super nice and he wasn't ugly, but he just wasn't my type. And like as I'm telling my sister the story, she's like, "What the fuck, Melissa? What the fuck? Why don't you just go out with the guy, okay? I don't care if he's not your type, just go out with him. I'm not telling you to fuck him because I'm your sister and I can't tell you to do that. But that doesn't mean you can't go out with him." And it's just I'm not a club person, so I was like, "Oh, okay, yeah." And he's like, "Well, I gave my number to the lady at the cash register so you guys can promote the show. So you know, do you want my Do you want my number?" And I was like, yeah, I'll get it from her. Yeah, I'll get it from her." He's like, okay, hopefully I see you there." And I was like, "Yeah." And he like gave me like a little wink type thing and just like walked away like all smiles and shit. And I was like, "Hell yeah, I just got asked